That School presents Algebraic Expressions. An algebraic expression is composed of variables and or constants and or a product or quotient of any number of variables and or constants raised to any exponent separated by the plus or minus sign. That sounds confusing, doesn't it? Fortunately, the idea isn't as confusing. Let's say you have a set of plus and minus signs, and they create some spots where you could put in some constants or variables or a combination of both. So if you have an x here and let's say x times y here, or maybe a x squared divided by y here, or perhaps a xy square multiplied with a constant, let's say 2, or just a constant, let's say plus 5. This whole thing is an algebraic expression, and these are called the terms. Let me just write that down. Terms. So in this particular expression we have 5 terms, and the terms can be variables or constants or a combination of both, product or quotient. We have a product here of a constant with a set of variables, and they can be raised to any exponent. We have a y square here, we have a x square here, whereas here we have a x or a x raised to the 1 or y raised to the 1. So I hope the example makes a lot more sense. Here's another expression, x squared plus 3x minus 2. This whole thing is an expression. It's got 3 terms in it. We have a x squared, we have a constant times the variable, and then we have a term that has only got the constant negative 2. Often you come across situations where a phrase or a simple sentence in plain English need to be changed to an algebraic expression or an equation. And before we go on to review a couple of examples as to how to do that, here's a quick reference. The word sum in a phrase or a sentence indicates addition. The word difference indicates subtraction. The word product indicates multiplication, and finally the word quotient indicates division. Time for us to look into a couple of problems. Let's try and change this statement to an algebraic expression. C less than the sum of A and B. So we have a sum of A and B, that means A plus B, and then C less than that. That means A plus B minus C is 12. Is means equals 12. Now if you're confused with this phrase less than and you're not sure which way the subtraction should be, is it A plus B minus C or is it C minus the sum of A plus B? The easiest thing to do is pick some numbers of your choice. Let's say the sum of A plus B, all of this is, let's say 10, and then C is 4. So the statement changes to 4 less than 10. Now how do we write 4 less than 10? Do we write 4 minus 10 or 10 minus 4? That actually answers the question, are we going to have a plus B minus C or C minus A plus B? Let's look into another one. Write down an expression for the following. The difference means subtraction, of the product means multiplication, of x and y, and the quotient meaning division of 3 and x. So what's going on? We have a difference or a subtraction, a product, a multiplication, and a division. The idea is to separate this and this, because when we talk about difference, we always talk about the difference of something and something. So there's a minus minus between what? What is the first number? The difference of the product of x and y. So it's like x times y written as xy. The first term is the product of x and y minus difference and the quotient of 3 and x. So 3 needs to be divided with x. And that's how you would change this entire expression in English to this expression in math.